So now we have Dacil Ullman coming out here on stage. So very welcome. So Dacil is the Group Data Analyst Manager at Intrum. She is responsible for driving advanced analytics within the Intrum group and heads up a team of data scientists and data analysts all across Europe.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, I wasn't thinking to talk about me in the beginning, but Vanessa opened the door, so I will actually... she's not the only one moving from a kind of nice, safe weather place to here. I'm from Gran Canaria. And no, it wasn't the weather that brought me here, so we're clear on that. 25 years ago, I moved to Sweden. You know, when you're young and stupid, you do these kind of weird things, like moving to Scandinavia. But anyway, first I want to thank Hyperight to make this event happen. We talk about how important it is for women to embrace each other. So please make sure that you talk to, go out from here with at least 3 visit cards, okay? Perfect. I need to check a little bit who is in the audience. How many analysts do we have here? Can you raise your hands? Okay. How many people only working with data? Okay. Hard audience, okay. People, analysts, help me out here when I say something that it doesn't make sense. Great. I have a tough topic to talk about. Taylor constant struggle to bridge the business IT and business gap. Do I press in the middle? Okay. When I say a gap, what do you think about it? Who is picturing this picture on the left, on the right, sorry. You know, you see the gap, you acknowledge that it's there. How many people feel like that picture? Can you raise your hands? Come on. Only? I cannot believe you. What amazing, I don't need to talk, I can go also. For sure, that was amazing. How many people feel like there? You actually kind of get it. It's hard, but how many people? Raise your hands. We're happy with the rest. Did I miss a picture I didn't have? Oh my God, how many have felt in the gap? Raise your hands. Maybe some people have this, sugar soak, after the lunch, you cannot raise your hands. You're like, oh my God. Anyway. When Hyperight asked me to talk about this gap, we're working with analytics. I actually have like this old-fashioned paper because I want to say so many things so I don't forget. And actually working with that gap is not easy when you work with 24 countries like I do in Intrum. And when you work as a chief analyst officer and any analytics lead, when you have the diversity and different maturities, it's kind of challenging. Because in some countries, the gap is tiny, and in some places are like huge. And when Hyperight asked me to talk about this, I said, okay, what do I know that I can share with you so you learn something? Or maybe it's obvious things that you already know, but I was thinking there's a lot of challenges, but I want to talk about 2. Okay? Just to focus on that. The first challenge regarding this gap is not only within business IT, it's within your husband, your friends. You already know, you're like, yeah, I know what you're going to talk about. I want to talk about communication, okay? And when I talk about communication, I'm not talking about talking, because everybody's really good at talking, We talk a lot. I talk a lot. Listening, that's the hard part. And I was talking to you in the break, when you know this kind of email communication that's going on, and at some point you figure out that, we don't talk, we don't even talk the same language. Yeah, it's English, kind of. But I have to tell you, I was preparing myself yesterday, and I had this super funny thing. Sometimes I think I'm so good in communication, but actually not. I sent an email to a colleague. And the email subject was confusion matrix. Has anybody know what confusion matrix is? Analysts, please throw your hands. Confusion matrix is actually a measurement error when you do an algorithm. We're training, we're doing this binary right and wrong. And actually it's called confusion matrix. For all my life, I call it that. So I'd say the email, and I didn't think about it, And he called me, it's like, what is going on? I'm like, what do you mean? Confusion? Are you confused? No, sorry. So I call it error matrix. So I have to explain to him how, a confusion matrix works. Because for me, it was obvious. That's the way you call it. But for him, it was like, is this getting crazy or more than usual? It's like... But that's the story. But what I want to show you is a girl. I love tech talks. Do you see tech talks? Doesn't it? Much better than Netflix. I work with a team of data scientists and data analysts. And normally when we hire a data scientist, it's like, you can learn the statistics, you can learn SQL, you can learn R, and all these fun things. Well, okay, not everybody can learn that, of course not. But be able to communicate, to listen what business want, to translate it in something, and actually explain it back. That's the key of success of whatever work with analytics you do. Because working in analytics, you work in the gap. That's the challenge here. We are either, we're kind of technical, but we try to always focus on the business value, what we're trying to achieve. So it's super important that you train. And like my confusion matrix thing, I actually did this mistake 2 weeks ago. It's something that you need to, don't forget that. That sometimes when you talk to people with the IT and data, they don't understand what you're saying. It's not that they're stupid, it's just they talk differently. So if you want to succeed in mining this gap, communication, I know that's nothing new, you already know this, I just remind you kindly to don't forget to communicate better. There's another thing that I use regarding communication that actually helped me a lot. 2010, a guy called Wayne Eckerson is a BI guru, you know who he is? He introduced a concept called purple people. Have you heard about purple people? Raise your hands, please, somebody. Oh my God, is anybody alive here? Can you please stand up just for a second, because I don't believe nobody know about it. Stand up, 2 seconds, please. Drop your phone, whoever has the phone in your hand, okay? I hate when you do this, but shake a little bit, please. Come on, okay? Are you with me? Yes. Perfect, sit down again. I feel like I'm here, but having I need a conversation, okay? These purple people, they're supposed to be, let me see so I don't, the coloring. I'm getting old, I'm like, how many people do like this every time you take like, okay, where was? Red for technology and blue for business. Yes. What it means that you have these people that know both. They're so amazing, they're like purple. But how many purple people there are there? Maybe me only, but anyway. Beside me, no, I'm kidding. For starters, I think the concept itself is good to find these people in organization, but often you don't have that. So what I have created is something called a purple room. Okay? So say that you get a purple place to make it more bigger. You get an email saying, oh, we want to do something, Or often in my company, big initiatives start with an email. You recognize that? Somebody send you an email? By the way, I was in an event yesterday. I'm talking about AI. And can we do it? And I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. So, I have AI powder in my, I only do like this dust, and then it's magic AI. Anyway, so what I do, I have this, I don't call it purple place, but I have a meeting where I invite everybody. I invite IT, technical, business, anybody that have opinions. And bring the most skeptical people at that meeting, because if they're only with you, then it's easy to implement. So I meet all these people here, and we start talking about, okay, what is what we want to do? Wish list, I always say. The no's come later, so just wish. Don't limit it yourself. I limit you later, so no worries. And try to talk to each other. Technology understands what business want to do. We're trying to analyze whatever we want to do. So when we leave that meeting, normally it takes a few hours or a whole day workshop, everybody's committed. And we understand what we're trying to achieve. So we actually like shake hands and say like, okay, we get it, this is what we want to do, these are the limitations, and then you start doing the project management things and time and resources and those boring things, But the start pointing of any initiative has to be a common ground, purple place. Okay? Perfect. 1 day at a time. Oh my God, I have to rush. Next topic I want to talk about that you can actually work with regarding the gap is trust. Trust is the biggest challenge that I have every single day. And let me tell you a story, and this actually is a true story. We had a problem that we have to solve in a country in the south or Europe. And it wasn't a big problem. We have to optimize a decision point. So we had a manually done decision, and we have to optimize it, okay? And my team of data scientists were like, yeah, let's rock and roll. We create this really cool machine learning algorithm. We implemented it. We were so happy. We're like, yes. So we go to the meeting to present our huge idea. I have to read it because this is so funny that you will not believe me. And the business owner, he said like this, okay, let us try this, but can we apply it where it will not, where it will have the less impact in case you break something? So we can use the model without fear of making things worse. I'm like, worse than random? I mean, they didn't have anything. The gut feeling random, and then we do machine learning, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, nah, perfect. And I tried to explain, the worst thing can happen when you do this kind of machine learning algorithm, that nothing happened. Actually, nothing. Less than random, impossible. I mean, but anyway, so we actually apply in the worst place that they had it, and actually increase the revenue, but I don't want to go and say like, I told you so, but anyway. So the issue that we had regarding the trust is that we were in the same place. Me and my data scientists were on the top floor. Oh my God, we were there. We were rock and roll. We were like, yeah, but business just came to the lobby. So we were in the same place. No wonder they didn't trust this. And always, I mean, whatever you trust with analytics is, when you go to have from gut feeling to analytics, that's a huge gap. And trust in technology is based in hard evidence. Have you seen this picture before? And actually, this, I have to actually, is that name that I cannot pronounce, Nakduduk. That's an island outside Massachusetts. And for almost 20 years, they were not allowed to drive cars in the island, on the island. Oh my English and Swedish is like, po, I, oh, you don't have any rules on that. Anyway, so for 10 years, almost 20 years, it was forbidden to have electric, no, it was electric, oh my God, what am I saying? Thank you. Mechanic cars in the island. So this post guy, this is the post car, drove from the post in the mainland and put the horse when they came to the island and drove, around with the horse. This is true also. And then when he left the island, he drove with the petrol, it's called. So the key thing to build trust is patience. So you need to be really patient when you try to introduce something new, okay? If you ask my data scientists why that country in the south of Europe, they didn't trust, it's like, they're so coward. But it's not. For them, random or gut feeling, that was the baseline they had. And we came up with something that was a machine taking decisions. So, so just because we could, the mistake we did, if I be honest with you, is that we were so in love with the technology created, we forgot that, we could build a car, but if the user needs a horse, just give them a horse. You know what I mean? So it's important that to reduce this gap with trust is that you actually listen, communication, and create something is used. At some point, I hope this new algorithm will be fully implemented in all the processes, but again, you need to be in the same place that the business when they want to have any solutions. And just because you can make it or do it, you don't have to, okay? So to summarize, I don't see the watch. Okay, I think I'm in time. I'm getting old, it's like everything is like so far away. Anyway, the two topics I want to talk about, reducing the gap. This you already know, I just reminding you. Improve communication, okay? And eliminate distrust. In communication is this common ground, enable common ground, call it purple place or whatever you want to call it, find a nice name. Actually, our meetings is called BORC, Business Opportunity Reality Check. That's how I call my purple place. Yeah, because it's a reality check. Can we do it? Can we not do it? Practice open dialogue. And that's something that you need to practice every day. Okay, because it's not, I mean, sometimes I'm the worst of all, because you're using to use this kind of wording or jargon or what you say, and you forget sometimes that people don't understand what you're saying. And the funny thing, if they don't understand you, they will not tell you, sorry, but I don't understand what you're saying. But you can see in people when you're saying something and it's like, and they're like, okay, are you getting what I'm, no? I always ask back, can you explain to me what I just explained to you? And they're like, then I'm, no, but you need to lower your, the level of what you're trying to communicate. So practice open dialogue, please, every day with your emails. Emails are horrible. Sometimes, like, you send an email and like, oh my God, that was so wrong. And you need to, take like 5 emails, and I was like, pick up the phone and talk to the person because this is crazy. Regarding this trust, because trust, again, is the most difficult part in the gap thing, being the same floor, or with the horses. With my data scientists, they want to create amazing things, but the industry we're working on, we're going from random gut feeling to analytics, and that's a huge challenge. It's not that gut feeling is, it's wrong, actually. It doesn't matter how you put it. It's like, you should take decisions based in data, but that's another. And you need to be patient, because it takes time to build trust. And just because you got trust once, doesn't mean that it's forever. And this is common with analytics, it's a little more challenging because, again, in a lot of companies, the worst thing part is, this when management go to an event and come up with this kind of, can we do this and can we do that? And you're like, you don't have the data, or you don't have, maybe you have the technology, but you don't have, enough people, and then you need to implement it. And this gap is bigger and bigger and bigger, that you fall in. Thank you I forgot the falling in, the fallen people. Anyway, so this is what I'm trying to share with you. I hope you remember this communication and trust issues. Do you have any questions, please? By all means. I know you have questions at the table. I know you were talking to me before. Any other topics? Yeah.
What's your suggestion?
She asked me about not making trust, but making things trustful. The thing is, like I told you, you need to be is patience, and be humble. That's also something that all the analysts I talk to, you need to be humble, because, people are not stupid in general. It's like, you have different, and trust is something that you need to work really hard on. And in analytics, when we do analytics in my organization, I always ask business, okay, how much cost a mistake? Because it's not a crystal ball we're doing, it's not magic. For any decision, optimization decisions you do, something will be wrong. You have this kind of bias in whatever we do. So I always ask, how much it costs a mistake? this false positive, we call it, when we classify something being right and it's wrong. And it's a matter of risk, how much risk you want to take. But if you don't trust me, then you maybe lower your expectations. Okay, this is really low risk that we want to take because I don't trust you. And then, like in the case of Spain, at some point, I hope, and always do champion challengers. Don't go roll out analytics like right away. So take a parallel process, do a champion challenger approach, and prove that it works. And evidence is the key. So this is, I think, just prove that you're doing the right thing, based on evidence, and patience, and communication. Yes. Any other questions, please? No?
One more here in the front.
Thank you.
How much do you do work in your company with together as a joint team with the business people and the analysts? Or do you are you located separately?
We Intrum has a little bit special setup. We have my team is a global team, and for every project we do, I don't like the word project because it's so negative. I call it initiatives. It sounds so much better. Any initiative we do, we start together with business. So we sit with business and we try to figure out what they want to do. Normally, there's no, it's debt collection. It's not like we can do a lot of crazy stuff. So anything we do have to be together with business and with IT and technology. So we make things actually can be implemented because we can do really cool stuff in my laptop, but then we cannot implement it in a corporate like Intrum is with 24 countries, 9,000 employees. But it's a symbiosis. You need to work together. And then when we're done, we shake hands, give me 5, and then we go to another country. So it's true actually, we give 5. But always together. And doesn't matter where they are. You don't have to have it, they don't have to report to me. We have really close, if the country has their own analysts or data scientists or whatever, so they join us. So we work together. There's no prestige, it's not like, oh, we do the cool stuff. We actually do the cool stuff, but no, collaboration. More questions? The cross is here, actually. Moving on,
Hi, Sofia Serafimovska,
Hi,
Some
Sofia.
Consulting. You talk about patience. When do you choose to gas and not brake, and on what grounds?
Good question. Good question. You need to push business and you need to push new technologies because it will not happen by itself. But you need to be, of course, careful. So it depends on the situation. It's like, so for some technologies we use, for us it's really obvious. I think I told a story during lunchtime about text analytics. We created text analytics we're doing a process to classify emails. We get massive amount of emails. So we're going with natural language processes, classification of the emails. That's something we have done since the 80s. But no in Intrum. So we have to do a proof of concept to prove that text analytics works. So for me, it's like, come on, just do it. So it's a challenge. And sometimes we go really fast and sometimes we go too slow. So, sorry, I don't know. Depends.
Yes. Okay, so thank you so much, Dacil.
Thank you.